chief source for farming. So which is the livestock which we have been using for ploughing or tilling? Cow, right? So it is a kind of livestock which we were dependent upon instead of a manual labor to plough, right? But nowadays what we have been doing, we are using the tractors in order to avoid livestock. So that is the immediate evolution where we have been using under agriculture, right? So agriculturists, we have been started to using the machineries in order to meet out the food production, because even though we use livestock, we couldn't meet out the food production that is necessary at the evolved population, because in beforehand everyone is having a piece of land and those kinds of food that has been provided from that land were be utilized by them itself. So everyone was an agriculturist initially at our scenario, but nowadays that is not possible, because what happens? We have been under a developing scenario, so we have come out of the box as an agriculturist or a farmer, but then we are coming into a cycle where we will merge into a developed country, correct? So we are in a negligence of manual labor, or we are in a negligence of being a farmer. Yes, right? So that is why we have come out of being a farmer, and nowadays we have become as an engineer or doctor, or we are even come out as a software persons and everywhere where we can live a sophisticated life in a leisure manner. But we are not used to the previous generation's life cycle. So that is where the machineries have come into existence. Okay, is it clear? So initially chief source of was your animals, and then we have used the steam power gain importance, after which after the World War I we have used petrol power tractors, and then this was due to the steadily declined nature at the 20th century due to the developing scenarios. Is that clear? This is the history which we have seen. Yes? We'll go to the next slide then. So I'll show you something about your steam powered engines. This is nothing but your pesticide sprayer. Okay? This was initially powered by steam. This was the first machine which has come to existence in order to spray the pesticide, and this could also be adopted for spraying your fertilizer also. So this is a sprayer. After which we have also used something like tractors. So as you can see, this is a engine that will powered engine that will help us to run the spraying, and also it will help us to cut down the land to level it. At surveying and leveling we have seen something about the ground has to be level, right? At this scenario also the ground has to be level. For that purpose we were always using manual labor to level it. But after certain scenarios the powered engines were used in order to level it, and also in order to enrich the sand or soil with the help of your fertilizers, then will plough it. Okay? Is it clear? Yes? So role of farm machinery. So what is our role? What is farm machinery's role? Until now we have seen something about farm machineries and its history, right? So what is your role in it? Yes?
Making work easier.
Making?
Work easier.
Yes, making work easier. So in order to make my work easier as an agriculturist, I have to depend upon the machines that will be available at farm. That is what I have given. See, carefully chosen machinery can allow crops to be grown and harvested with minimum to no soil disturbance. Soil disturbance in the sense, if we harvest it, if we have to pull out the whole plant in order to get the soil underground crops, then what we'll do, we'll always dig it and we'll take it out. So the soil nature will get disturbed. If that's the case, what happens, even though if we use the fertilizers, the enrichment of soil will have in a very lesser phase. So if we use a machine to pluck it out, what happens, the disturbance of soil will get nullified, and also the plant will be picked out very easily manner with the force that has been developed with the machines over there. Am I right? Yes, it is also a kind of harvester. So that is how the farm machineries plays a major role. Okay, is that clear now? So the next is, we have to decide upon the machine which we have to use depending over the type and size according to the nature. Each and every crop needs a different kind of machinery. Okay, so if we have to only plug the cotton balls, what we'll do, we just have to pluck it out as an initial stage itself. Harvest பண்றது எப்படி பண்ணுவோம், top level ல மட்டும் harvest பண்ணிட்டு வருவோம் if it is a cotton. Yes, am I right? What we'll do under harvesting a cotton crop, what we'll do, how we'll do? Does anyone know about it? Cotton. Yes, செடி ஃபுல்லா ground levelக்கு மேல இருக்கும். அப்ப ground levelக்கு மேல இருக்கும். groundக்கு அடியில cotton crop இருக்காது. cotton balls எப்படி இருக்கும், செடி ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். அது ஆல் அளவு ஹைட்டுக்குமே cotton crops இருக்கு. So if we are going to use a harvester, what it will happen, it will leave off the stem which is not available and cut it off from the top, right? That is how the harvester will help us to plug the cotton balls. Amava, to plant some other crops, what I will do then after harvesting a cotton? What will do? What will do? Whether that plant will give us the same enriched cotton balls again? Is it capable for that cotton plant to grow again? No. Actually we have to pluck everything. But that is not possible with the help of harvester, right? So that level of crop which has been left out at the ground will be left as such. After which what we have to do, we have to shred it, right? We'll shred it and we'll level the ground. We'll use the fertilizer. We'll make the soil enriched with the n number of nutrients, and then we'll crop some other plant as a concept of crop rotation, right? So the shred பண்ணும்போது எனக்கு என்ன ஆகும், தூளா இருக்கும். Those kinds of shredded material will act as an organic manure for me. Or else if it is a dump which I have to expose it or which I have to avoid it, what I do, I will burn it off and the ash will be left at the ground. Yes, this is the procedure manually which we are using everywhere. Correct? Nowadays we are looking into a method in order to avoid burning those kinds of ashes, because that will cause a serious amount of global warming scenarios. Have you guys heard of it? If we burn off the leftover plants or crops, what will happen? Several amount of carbon dioxide will come off. So due to that, there is a possibility that the CO content that is going to be available at our environment will be more, so that it will result in global warming. What is global warming? Yes? Can someone say what is global warming?
Excess amount of gas, harmful gases.
Yes, excess amount of harmful gases. That will, what it will do? It will change the temperature that is going to be available at our environment, right? So due to that, we guys have heard something about hole in ozone. Have you guys heard of? That is also a result of enriched amount of your harmful gases which are caused due to the man-made effects. Those kinds of gases are not produced naturally. Those kinds of gases were produced artificially by us. So in order to avoid those kinds of effects which are caused by us, we have to look into some other considerations. You guys can take that also as a problem statement where we can give us some output or product that will help us to avoid the enrichment of harmful gases at the environment, surrounding environment. And also we could provide a method where we don't want to burn those kinds of soil plant residues, and then we can utilize them for some other purpose. So if that's the case, we can avoid those kinds of global warming effects. Is it clear? Yes? Okay. Shall we go to the next slide then? So next is why farm machinery is important. See, we were always saying something about sustainable, right? What is sustainable? What is it? Adapt பண்ண முடியிறது, நிலையா நிக்கிறது. So that is sustainability. Correct? ஸோ அப்போ நான் சஸ்டைனபிள் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது என்ன ஆகும்? Even if I use some machines at farm, it has to be in a sustainable manner. It has to be prevalent until a last decade. Correct? Previous decade or future decades or this concept has to be used by me without any kinds of deviation. That is said to be as sustainable farm mechanization. So எதுக்காக எனக்கு தேவைப்படுது அப்படின்னு பார்த்தனா, in order to provide a product which is sustainable throughout the generations. That is why I need farm mechanization. Okay? So as an agriculture technologist, you guys are now not an agriculturist, you guys are now an agriculture engineers, right? As a technologist, what you guys can bring out from mechanization of your farm? What will happen? See, I have said something that our previous generations were always involved in farms as an agriculturist, right? Now we are not an agriculturist, we are an agriculture technologist, right? What we can do as an agriculture technologist by utilizing the mechanization? என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? நம்ம மெக்கனைஸ் பண்றதுனால நம்மளால என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? It is our responsibility to bring the product and give to the farmers in order to reduce the manual labor. Correct? Because not one person can give us a whole lot of food that it is necessary nowadays. Most of them has come out of those kind of world and we have entered into a developing country world. Correct? Technology enriched world ku நம்ம மாறிட்டு இருக்கோம். So we must also evolve us and we have to utilize those mechanical devices as a technical one by utilizing your automation techniques under agriculturist to make your farm in a mechanized one. So அது பண்றதுக்கு உன்னால என்ன செய்ய முடியும்? What you guys can do? Yes, come on, say. What will be your role as a technologist? That is what my question is. Can someone say me? Love? To invent machineries. Okay. What is? Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Yes. What he was trying to say is there were several kinds of inventions. First we were depending over our livestock, then we were using our tractors, then we were using rollers in order to level the ground by itself. Nowadays we are also using the harvesters. But he has said something like groundnut harvester is not available nowadays also. So you guys can take that as a problem statement and maybe you guys can come up with a solution where we can harvest the groundnut without any kind of deviation. Okay, you guys instead of plucking it manually or instead of using your groundnut stripper as a solution, we can also utilize some works and do groundnut harvester as a prototype or a model, and you guys can come up with a solution. Can you guys do so? Yes? Before the next class, can you guys all come up with your solution? We'll take that solution into account and we'll bring out a product which will help us to harvest groundnut. Is that clear? Yes? So with this we'll wind up today's class. On the next class we'll something about the tools which will be used for precision farming. Yes? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.